there's been an underlying narrative where I feel like our mayor and very specifically a lot of liberal mayors and governors have been kind of weaponizing the fact that Black and Hispanic people are more likely to get COVID.
Yeah.
And they're trying to, make it a racial thing, but in reality, this is very wealth oriented because, from a generational wealth standpoint, Black people have like 70% the generational wealth than white people. Stock market participation is at 50%. The Hispanic community has a lot of intergenerational living. There are food deserts, like you said. Yeah. There are almost no yoga studios, and if there is a yoga studio, that a bunch of white people are about to move in and push them out of the neighborhood like really quickly. So I think that when you factor in the socioeconomic stuff, the lack of organic food, the lack of proper fitness knowledge, the lack of proper nutrition, the lack of any kind of a real education in terms of how to properly take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that the people who are lacking these resources are less likely, are going to be more likely to feel the effects of COVID than somebody else. So what you're doing is actually how we should be fighting the virus. So I really appreciate the fact that you're doing that this is how you actually fight the virus from a long-term perspective.
Man, appreciate you, brother. And like you said, it's like with the yoga studio, by and large, there's not a lot of yoga studios on East Austin. In fact, there's not a lot of yoga studios across the globe that are in underserved, marginalized, and oppressed communities. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and at the beginning of the day, what I found being the business owner now, is a lot of it is about, compensation, money, revenue. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about this healing art of yoga, and you're supposed to go in there to get in healing, a lot of these communities that are suffering from food deserts, things like that, you have the high blood pressure, your diabetes. It's not because genetically we're predisposed to these symptoms. It's just the fact that we don't have, the access to some of these healthy foods, the food stores, the yoga studios, the gyms. And if we do have access, now you got to think about the economic part of it, because for some people, paying $150 a month for a yoga membership, that may mean they can't eat. You know what I'm saying?
Or you paying $10 a class. It's a lot.